Beautiful Thursday morning it is, and welcome to the Lusaka Star Radio Magazine program, a program which discusses issues affecting our communities, and I'm your presenter, Godwin Lungu. Remember, our dear listeners, you are always part of the program by dialing the numbers 0211 29 34 35. That's 0211 29 34 35. The number for your live calls, your text messages on 0965 830293. That's 0965 830293. The number for your text messages. You can as well come through our Unza Radio Facebook page. Like the page, you'll find an update status, comment on it, and of course we'll be able to read your comments. You can as well search for Unza Digital Media Hub. You find the live pictures there. You can follow us. Remember, we are live on Unza Digital Media Hub. So you can search for Digital Media Hub, like the page. You find the live pictures. Then you can follow us from there as well. Now, this morning on the Lusaka Star, we are featuring PA for Information and Publicity Desk, Chief Administrator for PA for Social Media, Mr. Chendela Erasmus Mukondo. Unfortunately, he is running late, so we continue with the program as we look at the PF and the 2021 general elections. Now, remember that you, our dear listeners, just as I stated, you'll be coming through later, and of course we may just open the lines just now. But before that, President Edgar Lungu has officially launched his campaign seeking re-election in the coming presidential general elections scheduled for 12th August 2021, with the announcement that the ruling Patriotic Front will not be holding rallies to protect the lives of the citizens by following the official COVID-19 guidelines, but will employ effective campaign strategies, citing the fact that the rise in COVID-19 cases in India has been attributed to political rallies as super spreaders. President Lungu urged his opponents to consider following the ruling party's decision and has since directed law enforcement agencies to take full control by rooting out irresponsible behavior of holding large gatherings. Now, the head of state has said campaigns will be easy because PF has proof that it has delivered development across Zambia. The Republican president has cautioned against dirty campaigns because PF has a clean record of visible development. President Lungu said the PF government has held the good tenets of democracy, rule of law, and separation of power, and that PF will continue working hard to empower women and the youth, adding that a bumper harvest is underway because farming inputs were delivered on time. President Lungu said the PF government has protected jobs in the mines and fought for better conditions, while Zambia has witnessed investment in the energy sector culminating in reduced load shedding. He said the PF government has invested heavily in infrastructure development, which has seen roads, schools, hospitals, houses for men and women in uniform. The head of state has said the PF government has further transformed the public broadcaster, ZNBC, through the construction of new studios and latest equipment. He said the PF government has witnessed the emergence of more radio and television stations in the country, which is a demonstration that media space has been growing. President Lungu said the film industry has grown to international levels, which has seen artists getting well paid. He said the PF government has worked well with traditional and the church leaders as they are agents of social and economic development. The head of state has said the PF government has demonstrated inclusiveness, which has resulted in people with disabilities being adopted for parliamentary positions such as Dr. Thomas Mutonga in Chasefu, Eastern Province. The president is, however, disappointed that some candidates have attacked Dr. Mutonga, that he cannot be voted for because he is visually impaired. He said Dr. Mtonga, who is a lecturer at the University of Zambia, will be used as an example to motivate others to vie for political leadership. On health, President Lungu said the PF government has initiated a government insurance scheme which has benefited many citizens in accessing health care services. He said the PF government has further provided free vaccines to protect the lives of the Zambian people. President Lungu stressed that the PF government is not scared of taking measures that might be unpopular but in the best interest of Zambia. The head of state has said the new PF manifesto is the new covenant with the people of Zambia with a deliberate focus on revamping the economy which has been affected by COVID-19. He said some businesses have been reserved for Zambians such as mining, manganese, gold, timber, saloons, vegetables, among others, to reduce importation. Meanwhile, President Lungu has announced that a PF National Chairperson, Honorable Samuel Mukupa, will be the presidential campaign manager, while the Vice President campaign manager will be headed by MCC Honorable Given Lubinda. He named presidential campaign coordinators as Vincent Mwale, assisted by Honorable Charles Banda for Eastern Province. For Kasama MP, Honorable Geoffrey Mwamba will be seconded by Honorable Waliangandu for Northern Province. In Central Province, Honorable Justin Mulando will be in charge, assisted by Ambassador Elijah Chisanga. Honorable Mwimba Malama will manage Muchinga Province, assisted by Honorable Malozo Sichone and Catherine Chileshe, focusing on Mbika. Veteran politician Honorable Katere Kalumba Kakawesu will manage Luapula Province, assisted by Right Mwitwa. Honorable Frank Ngambi and Banchi Nkwazi will be in charge of the Copper Belt, while Honorable Davis Mwira and Honorable Mumbipiri will handle Lusaka. Honorable Siacheye Mundiankuku and the MCC Kebimbewe will run Southern Province as Captain Lieutenant Liambela, assisted by Peter Kazura, will handle Western Province. For Northwestern Province, Honorable Kabinga Mpande will be assisted by Mrs. Kuntemba Nkonga. The head of state has thanked Zambians for the unflinching support during his first term of office, urging them to give him a second term of office. And of course, those were the words of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu as he was launching his presidential campaign and also officially launching the Patriotic Front campaign period. Right. So the campaigns started on the 12th and they will end on the 11th of August, the year 2021, on the eve of the election day. Then on the 12th of August, Zambia will be going for the polls and will be voting for all candidates in all categories. So they'll be voting for the president, the vice president, who is the running mate. Now remember that on the president, as it was, on the vice president rather, as it was in 2016, your vote for the president is also the same vote for the running mate, who is a possible vice president. So your vote for the president is also your vote for the running mate. If the president gets 300,000, it means the vice president, who is the running mate, also has gotten the 3,000. So we'll also be voting for the mayors, the council chairpersons. We'll be voting for councillors, for the parliamentarians as well, who are also known as members of parliament. So President Lungu has launched his campaign. Obviously, the UPND will be launching their campaigns on Sunday. They were supposed to do it in Kitwe on Saturday. The police have postponed it or pushed it to Sunday, where the first rally of the United Party for National Development will be taking place. I don't know about these other political parties, but of course, talking of the Socialist Party, it is a party which most of you have seen on the ground. They are able to do their campaigns, they are able to mobilize. I know some of you have seen them. If you go to some areas, for example, Garden Chilulu there, you find a lot of people wearing Socialist Party t-shirts. And also the Democratic Party are also doing their job, doing their door-to-door campaigns, mobilization, and of course, campaigns are underway. The parliamentarians are also mobilizing and of course seeking for votes. We have seen as well the councillors going around mobilizing and of course canvassing for their own votes as well, the votes for the president and for the people that they will be voting. And I saw something which was written by Honorable Given Katuta, the Chiengi parliamentary hopeful. Now, talking of Honorable Given Katunta, she was saying that she's running for the parliamentary seat, and she is requesting the residents to give a vote and possibly give the mayor or the chairperson that should be able to work with, together with the councillors in the area. So those are the happenings during this campaign period. President Edgar Lungu, just as I stated earlier, he has already launched his campaign with a call for the fellow contenders who are opposing him to also follow the health guidelines. And of course, the gathering of many crowds has been discouraged. So I'm picking your calls on the number 0211 29 34 35. Right about now, I officially open the lines, and you are coming through on 0211 29 34 35. That's 0211 29 34 35 for a live call. And your text messages are coming through on 0965 830293. That's 0965 830293. My guest is PF Information and Publicity Desk, Chief Administrator for PF Social Media Platforms, Mr. Chendela Erasmus Mukondo, who is not yet in the studio, but of course he should be joining us. The number is 0211 2934 35. That's the number for your call. You can call us, and of course, you'll be part of the program. You'll be part of the show. All right. So I have someone on the line who happens to be Honorable Mumbipiri. Let's see if I can get to pick her call here. All right. So let me pick this call. Hello. Good morning. Fine, and how are you, Honorable Mumbipiri? How are you, and how is home?
Home is okay, just the weather is today is much better.
As compared to these other days. Yeah.
I'm listening to your program, and it's unfortunate that our colleague hasn't yet arrived, and we hope you arrive in good time. I just thought I should maybe give you some additional information. That you talked about Dr. Tembo, our candidate for Chapefu constituency, who is a person living with disability. But I would just like to say, to prove that when we were saying, let's have this bill can go through because we want more women to be represented. We want more youth to be represented. We want more people living with disabilities to be represented. We meant what we were saying. And to prove that, in this year's adoption, let me start with the executive of the PF, the Central Committee. I'm sure you are aware that we have 43% of women representation in the MCC. And I think we are the only political party so far who has adopted if Nigeria serves me right, we have about 76% of women representation at parliamentary level. We have also increased the number of women at local government and at Meru. We also have youth, apart from Dr. Tembo has been adopted for Chasefu as a person living with disabilities. We have the council chairperson in Chifunabuli. We have another one in Shuangandu. We have one at parliamentary level as council chairperson in Western Province. I wish I knew that we were going to have this program. I could have given you that we have quite a number of them. And by the way, we have the youngest person who is contesting as a councillor, who is 21 at in Shuangandu. So I just want to let people know that when we were saying we want equal representation at every level, as patriotic front, we meant what we said.
Now, before you go, Honorable, I know, just as I have read, the Republican president has given you Lusaka to handle the campaigns. What are you promising the Zambian people in terms of political violence?
I'm so thankful to the president for giving the trust in me and Honorable Chama. I'll be deputizing Honorable David Chama as the campaign coordinator for the presidential campaign team in Lusaka province. And I'm sure the people of Zambia, in particular in Lusaka, they know that a person like me, have been talking and trying to educate, especially the youth, to deceive that to stay away from the violence. And I'm sure the people of Lusaka will prove me right because they will not see any violence. The president has already guided us. And since we are his followers, even if you like, everybody is listening to me, even if you think violence is part of your life, let's follow the guidance which the president has given us. This campaign, we are not going to go there. As we rightly say, people have a tendency to talk about personality. I mean, if you think Mufiti is such a nice woman, I'm a darling to my husband and to my children. You remember in English they say, one man's meat is another man's bottle. So let's base our campaign, all political parties across the board, on the issue base. Let's avoid to character assassinate anybody. I've always said, even to you as journalists, when you invite us to your radio station, please encourage us to talk about issues. Let's talk about how we are going to improve the healthcare system, how we are going to improve education, how we are going to create jobs. I shouldn't come on the radio and start talking about the other image about this private life. If we be serious for the animals at home, those are the ones I should talk about. Let's talk about general, the country, and how we are going to improve the life of our people. And generally, anybody coming even to attack your radio station because you encourage me when I'm there to talk about issues that attacking people's personality. If you attack people's personality, you attract others who believe in that person to attack you. So to answer your question, in Lusaka, I can promise the people of Lusaka province that in this election, we are not going to see any violence.
And before we let you go, my guest is in now. On the day that the UPND president was filing his nomination, we saw a lot of people, of course, flocking to Mlungushi International Conference, a move which was condemned by both your party and some stakeholders. But of course, yesterday when the Republican president was launching the campaigns, we also saw a similar situation to what to that of the UPND. We saw a lot of PF cadres flocking to Mlungushi International Conference. What is your comment?
I'm glad that you have asked that question. command listened, because that broadcast was being transmitted live. Those people you saw were not invited, but you know the Carter's mentality. They saw us when we were, the president was filing the nomination. You saw that the Central Committee, there were very few were picked.
I thought when you saw the people, you could have stopped them, Honorable. Maybe a directive, because that's what you have been asking your opponents to do.
Can I finish what I'm saying? How could you have seen that magnitude of people when I was inside which you saw me it was being transmitted live? I only saw that there were those people. In fact, when I was going in, I arrived at around 8. I didn't see those people. But when I was inside, when I came out, that's when I saw that magnitude of the people. But I can tell you, and I can prove, I can give you a list of how it was the publicity which was there. It was the members of Central Committee, it was the provincial chairman and the secretary who were invited. And I still had the card of invitation to Mulungushi. So I couldn't see that there were people outside because I was inside Mulungushi. But I think from now on, the police now know what to do. Yes, if I'm hosting a meeting, they have guidelines that we stand now. I think we allowed about 150 people. That's what the health guidelines tell us. If I have more than 200, me as a leader, I should be arrested to show as an example. Because this COVID is real. We have seen how our brothers and sisters are dying in India. And mind you, India has good health facilities. That's why when we also have diseases here in Zambia, some of our colleagues go to India, we know, to get specialized health treatment. Now to see that India, where we go, they have been overwhelmed. That should really scare us. This COVID, yes, we know, the opposition were saying there was no COVID. It was at that radio station where I challenged some of our colleagues to go to levy at that time to prove, because they were saying there was no COVID. I don't know if now they believe, because we saw it the fighting in. We saw one opposition leader with gloves and a mask. When everybody else, even the children and the wife, we didn't see them in gloves. It shows that now they believe that it's COVID.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Since you've been given Lusaka, who'll be able to invite you so that you elaborate more on some of these issues.
Okay, and as I conclude, I would like to tell everybody, let's stay home if you have nothing to do in town than moving about, so that you are safe for this COVID. We are taught by our health professionals that the number of COVID-19 is increasing, so let us stay safe. I thank you.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Honorable Mumbi Piri, who came through as well, just to add his voice to what we are looking at this morning. The Patriotic Front and the 2021 general elections is the topic of our discussion this morning. And my guest, as I stated earlier, is a PF Information and Publicity Desk Administrator for PF Social Media, Mr. Chendera Erasmus Mukondo Musonda. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Comrade Lungu. I'm humbled to be once here. And it's such a blessing that my mother was already here and she has homed the seat for me.
All right.
And, I remember we say that Tumulilo Vakoshira Vakuru Tabocha.
So you find us already deep into the discussion, Mr. Chendera. You just found us discussing about the clouds we saw yesterday. I know you may say, just as she has said, people were coming at their own, but there were centers where buses were coming to pick people. I would just cite, for example, Ngwerere Ward 19, at Garden Park area, people gathered as early as 7, and by 8:30, buses started coming to pick the people who were being taken to were being taken to Mlungushi International Conference Center. Your comment on those clouds that we saw?
Comrade Rungu, to start with, you know, I'm happy that the president has made such pronouncement much more effective, and that the launch of our campaigns for 2021. And for me, as you have rightly observed, those groups, they had gathered before they had that pronouncement being made officially by our president concerning the way we are going to conduct ourselves in this campaign. And I cannot talk too much about it, because the first area statement was issued by our Secretary General, one Honorable Davis Mwila. People thought it was just a rumor, but it's now official. And I think that was the last time you'll be seeing such clouds coming together, because it's now official. And as they gathered, they didn't know that the president was going to make such pronouncement. But we are very much aware, some of us, that the SG had indicated that the PF's campaign this time, they won't have this one item on the table, and that is the public rallies.
Were you with a view of trying to challenge what you saw on the nomination day when the UPND were filing their nomination? I ask you so because of this clip here. The voices of those that were gathered at Mlungushi International Conference, was it a challenge to the opposition?
Look, we are a large family as a Patriot Front, and as such, we cannot take anything that is being said on the street that is official. So basically, by you going into a crowd of people and to get a voice of somebody who is saying that this is not Itoma, this is not what. The official position of our party, we don't want to trivialize matters. It's very simple. And the SG talked, the former SG and our MCC, Mombipiri, and the one who is in charge of Lusaka, she has categorically said that our position is very simple, that of which the president has said. There won't be any more public rallies. It's unfortunate that you would want to trivialize matters. Those are cadres, and you know, cadres, they can say anything. So basically, we wouldn't want to reduce ourselves to say that those are our spokesperson. The Patriot Front, the family from which I'm coming from, we have formal structures, and the right people, they make a pronouncement. And in this case, the president had made that position. And for us, those voices that you are hearing from the members of the general membership of the party, it's just some part of entertainment and the politics of it. So that is not a voice of the party. It's just a voice from the street that you had picked. So we don't want to fight to bring or reduce this COVID fight to that of childishness fight, or that of saying, you know, look, what happened, Kaindi Chilema, when he behaved irresponsible, he burst people from Northwestern, from Sorwezi, who got stranded. He burst people from Mongo, he burst people from different localities. But this individual is telling you that we are very strong as PF on the ground. And as such, he said it himself, said that we are not coming from far-flung places the way it had happened with our colleagues, the way they had behaved in an irresponsible manner. They are from within Lusaka. So basically, that's what it is telling you on the other side, that we are not afraid. On the ground, people are willing to come out to support us, but we don't want to risk their lives. Their lives are very important. And it's a good example that you have brought out to see that people are very much willing to participate in form of the rallies. But this should not be taken for granted that we are going to go. And Mama Mumbipiri, that's where I'm going to build from. We have seen what has happened to India. You know, we can't go the Indian way, and we depend, as he rightly said, that a lot of these medicine that we have in the chemistries here in Lusaka, or dotted across the nation, they are coming. Almost 80% they are coming from India. But today, You saw what has happened to India today because of the same public rallies. And we are taking this very seriously, and our fight cannot be trivialized. So that's our position as a Patriotic Front. That voice that you heard on the ground there, it's just the people who were participating in something which they didn't know that, in fact, the president was going to make a pronouncement to say that we don't need such big rallies the way it had happened. So that was the last time you can see, you ever see such rallies.
Let's talk about the management of cadres during this period. It has proved to be difficult because it's like in every election we see unruly cadres going against the party directives. In as much as you have condemned your colleagues from the opposition, but we keep seeing the same behavior being duplicated in the ranks and file of the PF. How do you intend to handle the situation?
I think the pronouncement from the president, if you have the recording, you hear him how he had given us that directive. We said, with us as a family, as a Patriotic Front, we are more concerned with the health of our people. And I would love to say the way he had said it, because he said that us as Patriotic Front, we are not going to participate the way we have been participating in this previous period, in these previous elections. This time around, we are going to do away with the public rallies, and we love these public rallies. And you know, you and me, we know how we have always participated in these public rallies, especially that we had always let the youths, the women, everybody to participate. And how we got into power in 2011, it was through these huge public rallies that the MMD at one time, they thought they were not going to materialize into the actual voice. So in 2015, it was the same. 2016, it was the same. But this time around, it's different. So the president went further to say that for us, as the Patriotic Front, we are not going to go the responsible way of having these public rallies. And he asked the police that don't respect anyone, whether is a PFMCC, is a PF cadre, is a PF whatever. Make sure that they follow these guidelines. And you are the enforcers of these guidelines. And when he was making that statement, he mentioned the Ministry of Health and the police. So basically for us, that's a very good foundation on which we stand. These directives are very important because at the end of the day, if you don't issue such directives, the cadres won't be managed. So this is how we have managed our cadres from inception to where we are today. We had, I think, the biggest challenge which happened when talking about violence, and that was in 2011. We designed the Don't Kubeva. Do not involve yourself directly in confrontation with the MMD. And we behaved accordingly, and we are exceptional. And in 2015, we behaved exceptionally well. In 2016, it was the same. So basically for us, it's not here and there that these pronouncements have been just been empty pronouncement. For us, there have been pronouncements that every cadre has followed. And the example which the president has made, it's the right one, especially that he has tied it with the reinforcement of the people are mandated to make sure that these are followed. Because it's not for us, the Patriotic Front, to start arresting people or to make sure that these people, they start undergoing the medical procedures that are necessary to make sure that the public are safe. But for us, prevention is better than cure. So the best cure that the best prevention that we have is that we are saying all PF candidates in this 2021 election don't participate in this election using rallies. There are other models, there are avenues that we can use. Go on radio, use the television, go on social media, billboards, put adverts, open up this small door-to-door sort of campaign, and then also use the print electronic media, use the newspapers. And then the traditional way of talking to each and everyone. We can campaign using the American way of phoning in. We phone the would-be voters so that at the end of the day, we do not risk our people. This is the reason why the president said yesterday we have more better, effective way of communicating to our peoples. And these, among others, I think I've mentioned them.
Now, talking about these same campaigns, Mr. Chendela, I know that the Patriotic Front being in power, obviously the president is still the Republican president.
Yes.
Until the day that he will be handing over either to himself or to whoever will be elected. And he has the upper hand.
Yes.
We've seen the national broadcaster, obviously, the first 15 minutes of the news is dedicated to him. And these others, obviously, when they are in the news, obviously, it is in the negative side. Don't you think that that will affect your opponents, especially the way the public media is conducting itself?
Look, I cannot be a spokesperson for the public media that you are trying to bring here, maybe ZMBC or others. I'm a wrong person because for me, I'm speaking for the party, the Patriotic Front. So the way they administer or the way they administrate their issues at these public medias, it's quite challenging for me. I cannot support them. I cannot even defend them. So basically, for me, I'll speak for the Patriotic Front. The president talked about the good governance and the values of being a Christian. And this is the reason why for us we have believed that as a Patriotic Front, we have believed in these Christian values, and we have always cherished the Christian values above any value in this world or in this country. So basically, when we're talking about a public broadcaster, either it's covering the PF or whatever, I think you call them, I think they will be able to defend themselves. But for us, what we know that in this country, the way the constitution is tailored is that at no time we are going to have a vacuum in the president, in the office of the president. So the president will always have an upper hand because it is constitutionally given to him. So the president has a major role to do, and that is to make sure that this country is held together and the development continues, so that whoever picks from him or he himself picks from where you leave that office, it continues. So basically, that thing of the public media, the coverage and whatever, I think it has to do with the resources themselves. I think wherever you go, we are operating in an open economy. People have to advertise themselves. They need to buy space. Even coming here, you need to buy space for you to carry out any political messages. So basically, I cannot defend any public media here. I only speak for the Patriot Front. And for us, we have given enough space, and especially that the president talked about, we have now close to almost 48 radio stations. He talked about the radio station, we were only 3 by 20. Is it TV station? There were only 3. But today, we can brag, we can say we are more than even 20. So basically for us, that's what is important. We have provided the alternatives for those who would want to go to the same constituency that we want to speak to, and that is the Zambian people. So basically, as we stand today, we would encourage our people that society today, as we speak, even some of us, we have never been at ZMBC, but we have been speaking for this party, the Might Patriotic Front, through social media. We have been speaking through private radio station like yourselves. So basically, you cannot reduce yourself, all of us, just to go on ZMBC, because you know the mandate of ZMBC. The mandate of ZMBC is to inform the general public on behalf of the government and the ruling party, or the ruling government, or what I can say, the government which is in power. So basically, it's not here and there that the president from, is it the first 15 minutes, you'll be talking about Edgar Lungu and the PF. For me, I cannot dwell too much on that. Otherwise, what is important is that we have let other people have access through internet, through the airwaves, through other radio private stations. And these are standing in better position than even the same ZNBC, because people today, they have that freedom to choose whether to go to ZNBC or to go to this private media.
Let's move on. I'm reading a story which was posted on your media platform, Smart Eagles, on 22nd May 2021 at 04:28 hours or 4:28 a.m. You elderly people has always called it like that. All right, so let me read this story. It reads, over 100 supporters for the independent presidential candidate Masua Kalabi, who were ferried from Solwezi, have been left stranded for the past 3 days without food after the said Kalabi failed to file in his nomination. The supporters, who are mostly women and youths, were left stranded at intercity bus terminals without anything. Okay, so let me end there. Within 12 hours, the story changed from the same media platform. It reported that those were UPND cadres who were ferried from Solwezi. The earlier report was that those were ferried by the candidate, the independent candidate, presidential candidate. Within 12 hours, you changed the story. Was it a way of trying to undermine your opponents, the main opposition party?
Look, the first batch, which was assisted by our Republican president and through the Lusaka Provincial Committee headed by MCC Kamba, it happened over the weekend, and that was almost close to almost now. Today it's Thursday, almost 4 days ago to almost 5 days ago. That happened on a Sunday, and those were helped. And these other ones, the location where they have been found, it has been explained. It is an anti-intercity bus station. So this is just another second batch of people who have been stranded. And it's unfortunate that that even in these smaller parties that we don't even know, led by Kalambi, they have behaved the way the UPND has been behaving. This is not the way to go. I think it's very important that as the political parties we must mature up, and also when you help, you bring people. Once they help you, you must be responsible to make sure that they are dispatched from wherever they are coming from. So basically, this is not the first time that we're having. I remember very well, even on the Copper Belt, when the UPND, that such similar arrangement, we had the Binwa Mpundu, who struggled to make sure that these people were given transport, and then also were supported, starting from toilet paper to the making sure that they were transported back. So it's not happening for the first time. And the Smart Eagles, I think the credibility is still there, and they are very credible when it comes to providing information. These are people who report facts, and I love our Smart Eagles. They have always behaved smart, in the sense that they are not like us, even party functionaries on these other blogs like the Information Publicity Desk, where we do propaganda or do some exaggeration.
So you agree that you do propaganda?
Propaganda, it's the name propaganda, it's not misleading. Propaganda is just talking about something good. It comes from a church department which was Roman Catholic, propagating. Propagating means good news. So for us, the Smart Eagles, they have always, in fact, they have always reported without politicizing issues. So for us, why we call ourselves more like a propaganda desk, it's because we are always politicizing issues. So it's not
from
here and there.
From the dictionary I'm using here, propaganda, Mr. Chendera, means information, especially of a biased or a misleading nature, used to promote a political cause or point of view. So it is not as the way you are trying to purify it.
Look, when you are biased, it doesn't mean that you are bad. I will be here, I will be biased. I'm just talking about the PF. You understand? I will be talking about the president. I'm one-sided. it doesn't mean that I should be fair, because the nature of politics that we must be biased with our manifesto. We must be biased with our stand. We must be biased with anything. Even the word itself biased, it's not a problem. It's just saying
there is a part where it says misleading.
No.
I'm using the dictionary. This is not the knowledge coming from my head, but I'm using...
And the dictionary that you are using, and unfortunately, it's that one which was defined after Adolf Hitler in 1945. That's when now they started using the word propaganda, because propaganda after Adolf Hitler, that's when now they tied it with the politics. Before that, it was in the Catholic Church. It was a department. It meant good news. Good news about Jesus Christ. Propagate about Jesus Christ. You talk about just the vastness of Christ himself and saving mankind. So basically, before Hitler, that's what the English and its pronouncement. But as we stand today, we are here to propagate our values as the Patriot Front. We are here to propagate the values of Christianity, which are embedded in our constitution. So basically, for me, I wouldn't even waste it too much. Smart Eagles, it is above board. Smart Eagles has been
just because
smart.
It reports on
and
the PF.
Especially that whatever it reports about, it reports with without that issue of having politicizing the matters. They just told you that there was this Mr. Kalabi who had picked 100 cadres from Solwezi. And the video is there, the pictures they are there, and the people were interviewed.
Now
So
I'm looking at the coincidence, because at 04 it was Mr. Kalabi. Is it Kalabi or Kalambi? I stand to be corrected. I don't know how to
Kalambi.
pronounce it properly. It should be Kalambi. Okay. He ferried 87 from Solwezi, who became stranded. 12 hours later, from the same Smart Eagles, we are reading that almost the same number from Solwezi was left stranded by the UPND. Does it mean that that coincidence was just to happen between within 12 hours, and for these two political parties with the same number of people?
Look, the other issue which we must understand is that when they were doing these nominations, I think they were requested that all those who are aspiring for the for the presidents, they must come with is it 100 supporters from each province, not so? Yes. So if you look at the closeness of that number, the 100, well, it's in order. Yes, they brought them all the way from south. Is it from southern? There was 100. Maybe the one who came from southern province were given the transport, but the irresponsibility.
The ones from Copper Belt,
from the Copper Belt to Muchinga, the other one, they were returned. They returned back.
They only failed. These two political parties only failed to transport people to Solwezi.
So just imagine. It's very unfortunate.
Why that coincidence? Is it that you are misleading, or maybe it's the fact?
These are facts. These are facts on the ground. There are more than 200 people who are stranded, and it took the initiative of the president through our Lusaka province committee to help to bail out these people, and they were ferried back. So basically, you must give us as a plus for demonstrating leadership and to coming to the aid of our to our friends. So basically, this is the reason why we have always talked about coexistence, and then also that we are not a violent party, that we treat everybody as a brother and a sister. This gesture should not be looked at as something which is should not be politicized, rather, or should not be propagated into something negative. But basically, it shows our coexistence with our brothers, and we are telling our friends that next time you are given that special privilege of inviting your people, make sure that you make sure that they are safely returned.
0211293435 is the number for your call. You can as well text us on 0965830293. Now, before we officially open the lines, Mr. Chendela, we had a lot to discuss this morning, but time is not our best ally. Okay. You still about 40 minutes to yourself. Let's talk about your running mate.
Yes.
Honorable Nkanduluo. a surprising move which the president has taken. Most people didn't expect that, and a lot of PF members are being encouraged to accept her, but deep down in their hearts, they have rejected her.
Look, you cannot speak for us to say that deep down in their heart they have rejected her. And then secondly, you are not talking about a person who is new to the Patriot Front, in the sense that she is among the MCCs, the 55 MCCs.
Because we first heard the murmuring from within your party.
Which murmuring? It's just the exaggeration. I don't know why you like interpreting or looking for bad signs among people. There wasn't such bad signs of saying, no, the murmuring, they're doing what. But basically is that...
but you heard the murmuring.
I never heard of any murmuring to start with, because the people who are there who are invited by the president, they were very senior party functionaries. And what it is that she has been accepted, and everybody knew that she was among the people who are being considered to be the running mate, because from the Patriot Front history, the people are picked as a running mate. For us who know how the people are picked, they are picked from the MCCs, and she is among the 54 MCs that were elected in this general conference. So basically, it's not here and there that she's new. It's not here and there that it happened from without, but it is from within. So basically, for us as party functionaries, we know how it happens and how these appointments are done. So we have the people who have always believed that the president was going to poach from outside, the president can pick from outside, but we have always demonstrated that we have a lot of resource within the Patriot Front. And the selection of one Professor Rangandruo, it is that one which is an embodiment of women empowerment, especially those who have gone through the highest institution of learning like this one, University of Zambia, those who have been given the privilege of going to reach such a level. So basically, to us, it's another record that one Edgar Chagwarungo has broken. So this is the second record that he has broken in Zambia. The first one being that he is the first one to appoint a running mate, a woman. So look at our friends. Immediately we made that selection of that choice through the president by appointing her. Even the UPND the following day, I think they did the same copycatting. So basically for us, we have been setting the stage high, and the Professor Luo, she has vast experience. She's not new in the Zambian politics. She's coming in 1996 as a member of parliament for Mandevu. She's coming in as a person who has been a cabinet minister from 1999 to where we stand today, as when she was heading this Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock. So basically, you are talking about a performer, a person who has been very forthright in decision management, and you are talking about a person who everybody knows that we have now a professor, as comparing with our comparatively with our friends. These other ones who are just been copycats, ours, it has been original.
0211 29 34 35. Let's pick our first caller here. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Mkwemwa bukashani bachamalandi. Oh, bachabula pa garden landeni tumfwe bachabula.
Mwagombeni mkwashukuru mwe bali hapo.
Bwino nga balishani bachabula garden nga kwalishani ku garden.
Bwino kuno inacho ndei pushako ine. Ndei pushako kulingana pali imwe.
Emkwai.
Bantu ayama election yali pali inoshika. Yabaka inde na balungu. Abantu babiri abantu bamo abashirwa be cyalo cya Zambia. Nomba bali aba president bambya abashana abena sho tembo. Elio mama kateka. Ero na ba bishop baraba yemwe mti tababe shiba abantu kuno mu cyalo cyose tababe shiba na kupanono. Nomba nga bali pale ndipo bagale tsira mali poti ile ngepile mudera ndirapo. Winga bapotera kushini nani? Kusheni chwena bali jishinga. uinga bapotera ndibonza bacho umuntu obalingira okupotera umuntu umwe ushiro kutira ati ine ndepotera chite ine ndepotera balungu ine ndepotera bakainde bali abeni abantu babiri aba ewo abantu bachote twitishani babapotera nomba babonza abali trenda lama shonseshi tafaribe baraki mwamon mwabeka la panza mbuja kutira ati barabantu bakwache kampeni ya marali bakite nomba ino shebili pweva tiyo bantu kukoti ovyo diapene ya isei arale takani bantu nomba bonza bale bantu bonze tini kopi ojo orepa kina kutapanya kupiti wale na patu ufidele waso ifi kwena mwandini tona mloko fialaya my election yari why more important this election is for only two persons Mr. Kainde and Mr. Rungu. Finish.
Thank you very much for coming through. 0211 29 34 35 is the number. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is this what's the name again? Hello, give us your name. Vana Mwava. Wow. You can continue, madam.
Vashani kwa mu studio.
Uyinonga balishani Vana Mwava?
Uno tule umhomelo ndo la Lusaka.
Ana totela mkwai.
Mkwai. Kwesa kuli ba kateka ilo batera barani nekiba ino ba nkandulu. Ipato alichipokelera pamonge chikani. Sheshe bena chwaje yo people ya mamaring. Nafera mwachu yefsha nuko ko bale chitamaring. Kozi kuja kwali ba central committee. Bofwe bali pano panze. Kwali chipokelera. Kuya la career ya ba nkandulu. Bali bawewe educated, politically fiance, ma position go back down. So uli ompando na ubalinga foto ali bapokelera. Msonda, bachendera Msonda.
Emgwai.
Ukwesa kuma raliza abantu balerize okuza yo ba president balilesha kweba chama campaign kwigaba. In fact ba president balilanda okwebati bakonka bali ta discourage amalali.
Emgwai.
Then fiyetu akonka ama guideline lo batupera. Ba president ngala bakutukisha uno. Tabalesha omuntu okwebati wela kidamalali. Jo nabala batwala time force amalot. Mukai. Mleana.
You can conclude, madam.
Tabale sheshe the political party mula odinga malari. Tabale sheshe. Tuiba kushwa omuntu okubati wa president abele shabe na basenda abantu awe. Era bale rontinga manifesto. Chimonga filapanga da waitagana uleba pena mafunde. Abana ngawachara 12 baisaba 12. Era abantu mwamwene kulya kumulugushi. Bala bapena mafunde okubati tuile twakonkesi. Then they shakunmoko. Other political leaders, they were calling for a total lockdown. Number one, Monga, no country had total lockdown. Namalaris in the Valley, Alanda, Pokeba, Jinga Malaris. Gatakuni, Navanda Futa, Ramona election time. That's why I start total lockdown. But our president is to Quebec. That's total lockdown. Barolesha from Zambia, no Mumbi Wabantu, effort to Alai Kalamchalo. So, Chilonga no Chapa to front. Offer to lay land if we pan up background. To lay more development over PF Babombere, no Kubota, ever to Kalabo, therefore to Kalakonka. We are touch over later. Manifesto takes you on the 12 months on the manifesto. We share the 2 months, but I feel to stack of this Amazon. But while I talk about Tamaralis, talk about Tamaralis. I want to look what stack of this already. I want to attack this side. What though?
Thank you very much. Your time is up, madam. Right, 0211 2934 35 is the number. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you are calling us from?
You are talking to Morgan within Lusaka.
You can go ahead with your comments, sir.
Chandra Mukondo, good morning.
Good morning, Morgan. How are you?
No, as we are okay, and we know that your young man has come now from the media team of PF.
Yes.
Yeah. For us as the oppositions, we were disturbed a bit. The president to direct to the police that arrest anybody who's going to abrogate the rules, the court rules without fear or favor. And when himself was appointed the campaign managers, in all 10 provinces, including Lusaka. So how these people are going to mobilize people? And he has continued that as you have already campaigned, because you have built more bridges, more schools, I have no doubt that you are going to win. But for us as an opposition, we are so many. We are not only one political party as opposition. So, and I heard in the morning Mumbipiri was on the right. Mumbipiri, if you remember that Mumbipiri only 2 ministers, cabinet ministers, that we are going to arrest them. They were not arrested, including Bowman and the other ministers. So for us, what we are saying is that this is the time now us to mobilize. This is crucial. We have remaining 2 months. Time is running out. Now, we are going to tell the people about our manifesto. This is the time. The winner will come out. What we want a fair play. So that you as our opponent, also when you win without any obstacles, we are going to shake hands. But if we beat you, we are going to shake hands to us. That's what it is.
All right, we have lost you, sir. Thank you very much for coming through. Let's pick this call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Elvis, how are you? You can go ahead with your comment.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me congratulate Madam Mumbipiri for being appointed as the campaign coordinator for Lusaka, together with Davis Jama. We are ready to work with you, ma'am. We are ready. We are ready to hit the ground. But in the Ramukonde Murishana, Chivaniva Godwin, and Chiva Kalipira Pakwisa
Exactly. Mkwai.
Oh, how are you, Godwin?
Very fine. You can go ahead with your comment. We do not have enough time, sir.
Coming to the topic, what the president has said is true. What Godwin you got from the masses there also is the opinion of those people who came there. If you saw the president didn't even stop to address those masses there because he knew that he didn't invite them. Those people came on their own will. The president, if he called them, he would have addressed them like what Mr. Akainde Hichilema did when the masses were there. He addressed them, and those people, some of them came from far-flung areas, and they were stranded in Lusaka. So the president, what is he saying? He says, let's abide by the COVID guidelines. He didn't say stop the rallies. He was just telling the police to make sure that they do their job, regardless of who will be performing the rallies. Even the PF themselves, he included them. He said, deal with those people firmly without fear or favor. So that means he even included this party. This is why this party, the PF, has done its groundwork. There's no need to campaign in rallies, in what. If you remember Godwin in 2015, the UPND campaign, the whole entire campaign period, President Edgar Chagwarungu campaigned for 22 days and won the election with a landslide. So for me, these opposition who are crying before even the police has acted, I think they are crying babies who have never disseminated their information to the people. They have got nothing to offer to the people of Zambia Godwin. These are disgruntled opposition who think that maybe they can win elections through rallies. But they are mistaken. The PF, as you heard the song of Godwin,
Your time is up. You can conclude, sir.
Godwin, in conclusion, Godwin, the PF, the president said, let's talk about ourselves. We will be talking about ourselves, the development we have brought to this country. This country has changed from the time which was taken over by the PF. This time it is a paradise in Zambia, Godwin. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. 0211 2934 35 is the number. Hello, good morning.
Godwin, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Namanda.
Thank you. Vamkondo Mwauka.
Mwauka uli wa namba wa Amanda. Yes.
I think to my party UPND, let's not waste time responding to the PF who are saying we shall not have public rallies due to COVID. It is clear that they don't have any message to tell the Zambian people because number one, they have killed the economy. People are wallowing in abject poverty. Look at the corruption levels in our country. You remember the gassing issues, road shedding. So they have got no message whatsoever. So it is up to UPND to go flat out and have rallies. With or without COVID, we need to have rallies. As long as people mask up, there is a social distance. In the entries of these rallies, there should be buckets where people should wash their hands. So the police, when they come, they will be checking on those things if they are happening. Then they will let you go ahead and have rallies. There is no point. These PF, they are just trying to distract you, distract your message. Go flat out, countrywide campaign. Here in Kampumba, we are having a rally at the Kampumba ground. And I'm inviting Mukonjo to come and attend and see how people are observing health guidelines. There is of saying no rallies, the police should do what? That is a non-starter. You saw billions of people, thousands of people at Mulungushi yesterday, and he never said anything. He never even instructed the police to disperse them. That is double standard. So whatever the PF these topics they are bringing, they are just trying to divert your attention. UPND, don't sleep. Go in listeners. There's a go typical in Changombo, go typical in Wapula and the campaign. We need it.
Your time is up, sir.
In conclusion, UPND, you need to wake up. You need to stand up and do something for the betterment of this country. Go flat out at the campaign, have rallies. Period. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's the voice of Brother Namanda there. Let's pick this call. Good morning.
Good morning, Godwin.
Good morning.
Mr. Katapazi. You can go ahead with your comments, sir.
I just want to tell the other political parties that they still have a chance. If the president or the policeman say that no rallies, I think the only way they can do is to do, since they are allowing door-to-door campaign, which is to myself, which is almost the same as the rally. If today Godwin says that let's go to City Market, let's go to Freedom Walk, it's the same as the rally. I don't know how the president is coming out like that. Well, if you go in the bus, today if you go in the bus, you only count about, the whole bus, about 70 seats, you only find about 2 or 3 people masking up. If you go to the bus in Kendere to town, maybe there will be only one person who is masked up. But if the police says that no, the president says that let's do door to door, it's almost the same because I can imagine if HH himself is moving, say that okay, I'll do door to door campaign in Copper Belt. It's moving from Chitokore market to other market, going in the house. How many people will be there? How many people will be following? How many people? Imagine. All those things are the same. The only thing, I mean, USA did the Trump did the campaigns, everyone did the rally. So the issue of the rally, I think, it's there then on else. There will be no way where they can say that they should cancel the rally. Also, we need to hear from the ECZ. The ECZ, are they going to give the guideline how to be campaigning? Because so far now we have heard that the UPN rally have been cancelled in the Copper Belt. Soon here our party, the Socialist Party, has been cancelled. We don't want that. What we want is...
you are coming from the Socialist Party. Are you coming from the Socialist Party?
Sorry, it was my slip of my time.
Or maybe you are doing it like a watermelon.
So what we need to do now, as a senior citizen or as a Zambian citizen, we need to be fair.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. All right. So, Mr. Katapazi have mentioned of the door-to-door campaigns. I was trying to avoid talking about this because of what happened in John Lang. when the Patriotic Front were doing their door-to-door campaigns, they crashed with the UPND, because when you are doing a door-to-door campaign, you do not know which political party the house you are about to visit is affiliated on. And we are told that UPND campaign center was routed. Is it some 2 days ago?
Comrade, thank you very much. It's just very unfortunate that it happened like that, but we have always emphasized, let us coexist. We can only enjoy this democracy if we coexisted together. You can only enjoy a campaign if you have an opponent. If UPND was not going to be there, there was no need of even opening up to do the same campaign. But because of democracy, democracy talks about letting people, is it different with people with different divergent views to come forth, and then also help the same democracy to be enhanced. We have, in this case, I think we had the applicants from 19 political parties, and then 4 they failed. So we have 14 presidential candidates that have these political parties will be doing the same arrangement of door-to-door campaign. But the one which I want to clarify and make it clear to Comrade Katapazi, it's that the banning of rallies, it's only to this club known as the Patriotic Front. It's not to everyone. Ourselves, the party president, is following the guidelines from ECZ, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, and then also the guidelines from the Ministry of Health. To us, which has mentioned this same door-to-door campaign, but unfortunately with the door-to-door campaign, I remember very well, they are always prone to these necessary fights when the 2 political parties meet. And among them, I remember, like in in Monali, we had that sudden incident whereby the bus for the UPND was smashed because of the same door-to-door campaign. But basically,
and recently, John Leng for the 2021 elections.
Yes, and our voice as the ruling party is that let's desist from such. Let's coexist together. We have coexisted the way it has been happening. You know, there was something on social media which was making some rounds. Is it almost 2 days or a day ago, where you find that there was a dog and a goat almost playing together, you see. And then somebody was saying, if you see, if imbwa na nembush file angalira pamo, why can't us human beings coexist? So, you know, it goes for everyone that we need to cherish this democracy. We need to cherish our neighborliness. And the president emphasized, talking about the values of Christianity. The values of Christianity, it talks about talking to those people whom we talk about, the sinners, those whom we have said they belong to the camp of the devil. We are told not to distance ourselves, but instead we have been sent to go and convert the same, not to go and fight, but instead to go and demonstrate leadership through the demonstration of love. Even to us, the president, the values is talking about, as we campaign, we don't want what happened, like what my brother is talking about, what happened in John Leng. That should not happen under the leadership of one Edgar Chabalungu. That we don't want to repeat itself. And we are asking our members out there to desist from such. And I want to get back to our comrade. I want to make, for instance, I'll cite an example of what happened in the United States of America. America, I think there are the 2 scenarios. Trump was downplaying the politics of COVID. He said COVID, he went ahead with the public rallies. And then the Democrats, they went this same door-to-door campaign. And among them, one of the things which I heard, which they employed, it's that one of even the phoning of individuals. Barack Obama was said phoning would be voters so that they would, at the end of the day, vote for the Democratic. And that was very effective. You saw how, for the first time in the history of the United States of America, somebody had to amass almost over 80 million votes by not going the public rally way. So even ourselves, we believe that there are other effective ways of marketing our manifestos, and among them, these are billboards, as I said. The other one is that one of TV, the radio, social media. The one which we talked about, door-to-door, phoning in. You can also phone different individuals. The print media, electronic media, and then also the flyers. And then besides that, we are living in a world whereby songs can also be used to market the party manifesto of the party. The way we have seen that very educative song from Mark II and Your Maps, which is talking about our achievements, the achievements that you can easily see, and they are calling for everybody to appreciate things that they can see. They are visible. So basically, for us as the Patriotic Front, the president said we are going to find ways not only to use the rallies. The rallies, I think now, they belong to the past. Let's find the best way of addressing this issue of marketing our party manifestos so that we do not endanger our own people. At the end of the day, we do not want our people to be there, to be sick, and to have funerals instead of having an election. Instead of having an election day, others will end up having funerals. They will lose their most beloved ones. They will lose almost what their breadwinners. So that's not the case that we want. So basically, for us as the Patriotic Front, we want, as our MCC Mumbipili talked about, let's learn something which happened in India, where these people, they are manufacturers of COVID vaccine, but they have been hit very bad. Now, what about if a country which manufactures vaccines can be hit the way it has been hit? What about ourselves? Remember very well, we have a history, even ourselves, what we have accumulated so far. We have knowledge. Exactly, I think a year ago, is it on 15th of July? On 15th of July, it was a dark day for us, especially for us in the Patriotic Front. We suffered the 2 members of parliament who passed on, from Monsabombe Rogers, may so rest in peace, and then also the Chirwekwa family also lost a guaranteed leader who is from the northern party there, Lusaka constituency. So basically for us, we are telling our people that we are not stopping anyone, but you follow the laid down procedures. You can go ahead. I've heard that the UPND, they have even bought 16 million marks to help in their public rallies. So basically, if they want to go, they will follow social distancing, 1 meter, so that at the end of the day, they will have their gathering the way they want it. But what is important is that let them follow the health guidelines. And if they are not going to follow the health guidelines, they will not be allowed by the relevant authorities. And the relevant authorities, it's not only the police. The president talked about 2 things: the police, and then also the health ministry, the Minister of Health. Why are you talking about the police only, but you are forgetting about the Minister of Health? In fact, the Minister of Health, when they come and they find you that you have even COVID, they have the mandate even to lock you for 14 days. They will even make you even away from even having those elections. So we don't want a situation whereby almost maybe even 200,000 of our people, they would be voters, they will be in this quarantined. You know, that's what we are risking. We don't want people to be quarantined unnecessary, because at the end of the day, come July maybe 20th, and then you have more than maybe even 1 million people quarantined, or close to about even 700,000 people will be quarantined. They will be the same people will be saying, no, look, what they have done, our PF now, they are quarantining our people in our strongholds. They are quarantining our people in where our UPND is perceived strong. No, we don't want such scenarios. We don't want such politics. At the end of the day, it's important that you understand that the president had put a ban on party activities that belong to the PF.
As we get close to the end of the program, we are already beyond time. We have passed our time. We are 3 minutes into other people's time. PF is hiding in the name of Corona. I pray you lost the election so that you will learn a lesson. I warned you, sir, stop lying in the name in the studio. Okay, Pastor Mtale, thank you very much for your message. Honorable Simasiku from Tendere saying, morning, Mr. Godwin and Mr. Mkondo. President Lungu yesterday said PF will not hold rallies, but few hours later, what did we saw in Mongu? when the Republican Vice President and the PF running mate were holding a huge rally in Mongo. What a directive. The president is saying this and the running mate is doing the negative of it. Lovewell from Garden is saying PF and Edgar have worked and we have welcomed the move that has been taken due to COVID-19. This one coming from Pethias Lutaka is saying the PF just want to hide in the name of health guidelines because they don't have the numbers on the ground. Mr. Chendera, don't mislead the nation. How many gatherings have you been having from the time COVID came into existence? And please tell us, tell us the truth. Those people who were stranded, are they UPND or what? I think that one has been answered already. This other message, we'll ignore it, coming from Regan Ngandu. We are not talking about the president eligibility here. This one, I can't see the name. Okay, let's conclude, Mr. Chendela. Your reaction and your concluding remarks.
We are not hiding in the COVID-19, and that is Pastor. Ourselves, I think the world has now accumulated a lot of evidence that these rallies are super spreaders, and India stands as an example where the incumbent prime minister there, the incumbent leader, has suffered even a defeat in one of the key states there. So it's an example of what it means when people don't respect the health of their people and goes for the political way. So basically, I think before I come to end this program, I would want to quote the Ghanaian president, who has always said that economies, we know how to repair them, and politics, we know how we have been conducting them. But when it comes to lives, it's important that we respect life, because there is no second time to repair a life. So basically, to us as a Patriotic Front, we would want to urge everyone that we follow the laid down health procedures, and then also we make sure that we continue participating in a recovery in a way that cannot affect our neighbors. I thank you.
Thank you very much. And of course, that's where we end today's edition of the Lusaka Star, the program which discusses issues affecting our communities. Godwin Lunga, my name's. Until next time, when we bounce back, shalom, shalom, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Over my soul, baby, I sleep over my soul.
The views expressed on the Lusaka Star are not